Good evening on a Jerry got caught fidget spinnering. Welcome on a Tuesday night to Loud Nerdy. My name is JW Colwell. I'm joined, well, not as always, because Kyle wasn't here last week, but my good friends Kyle Defina and my good friend Jerry Kamora. Good evening, Ken. Thank you for joining us in the Great White North. Welcome on a Tuesday night to Loud Nerdy. If you like, good evening, Joe. Good to see you. If you like the show, here's what I would like you to do. If you're watching the show, I would like you to tell 5 like-minded friends to like and subscribe to the show. That's all I'm asking. We're not greedy. Just 5. We want to create our own MTV kissing commercial from the 90s. You remember that commercial? If I kiss you, and they've kissed 2 friends, and they've kissed 2 friends, and it just expanded out. That's what we're looking to do. So if you like it and you like the show and you like the content,
that's how you get a case of the Skittles.
Skittles.
Yeah, you remember the kissing Skittles commercial where they were making out and all of a sudden?
Oh yeah, all the different Skittles. Yeah, no, same thing.
Yeah.
I'll
take the anti-smoking commercials where they started putting the X's all over the country.
Yeah, I'll take any. Well, I don't know about the smoking.
Or is it an egg in a frying pan? Your brain not on Loud and Nerdy.
Oh, that would be funny. It wasn't. It was bacon. Wasn't it bacon or ham?
No, it was an egg.
Was it? It was an egg. It was.
This is your brain on drugs.
It was a cracked fried egg.
Understand?
Everybody's like, and everybody's watching the commercial who was high, going, "I love eggs."
Yeah, it was. They showed it during breakfast time.
They showed it during breakfast time, and it's like all you can think of as the egg sizzling there. It's not your brain on drug. It's not a good fried egg. You can make any.
I gotta go wake up mom.
Eat a fucking egg.
Man, I gotta make some toast with that. That's a good dipper right there.
That's a dippy egg. That's a dippy egg.
That was your sunny side up right there.
What a tangent to start the show tonight. And if you like that kind of content, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. We're apparently getting fans on Instagram. We got a message from the Grand Poobah.
Yes, the wizard has spoken from behind the curtain.
It was very much like, what the fuck are you people doing?
People are following us. They're liking our content. They're gonna want more of this shit. What the fuck?
What are you doing? We might get seen by a lot of people. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Thanks for coming in with the hammer time.
I'm in a great mood today. Any ideas why I might be in a great mood today?
Because they dropped that
official trailer day.
New trailer tomorrow, kids. Wait, and a new poster. The new poster is stunning. Like, I love the old poster. The old poster is fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Right, let's go through this. Very few movies have 2 great posters. Like some have a good first poster. Some have a good second poster. First poster for Superman, spectacular, amazing. Look up, incredible. I love this poster, but I'm not gonna lie. This poster is pretty fucking sweet. That's a pretty badass poster. He looks right. The cape fluttering in the background. The sun behind him. I have Superman 78 feels every time I hear a little bit of the John Williams score in the trailers. And if they're using it for the movie, I'm okay with that. I was thinking about this, right? I do want a different score for the Superman. But if it has tinges of the John Williams score, I'm not going to say no. Wait, they're all in Jerry's basement? Who? All the kissing people? All the people we kiss, or the Skittle people? That'd be scary. If you went down to a basement or just filled with Skittle people? No.
Stand back. There's an orgasm coming.
You get the orgasmerator out like an orgasmo.
Yeah, it's more look up in
Quiet, chud boy.
JW, where did you get your Superman for July? WarnerBrothers.com. WarnerBrothers.com. This is my second new Superman shirt. I have classic black. This one I just got because I don't really wear colors. I usually just wear black because I'm a Raiders fan. I just wear black all the time. But this one I felt like
because he's always in mourning since he's a Raiders fan.
Oh, well.
Well, I am too.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Kyle. I'm not in mourning right now. Like, we had a good draft. We have a
I've heard this same speech for the last 20 years from
and Jerry will know what I'm talking about. We've had coaches. I don't know that we've ever had a coach as good as Pete Carroll recently. And the kid they got in the first round of the draft, is he Marshawn Lynch 2.0? Who knows? We'll have to see.
Know, right?
Won't know for a while. Forget that. It's Crypto's movie. Waiting for that since Super Bowl cards. I'm not gonna lie. Crypto has his own ad campaigns. I saw a commercial for fucking Milkbone, and Crypto has his own fucking ads. So you're not far from being wrong on that. Crypto is apparently also. I don't know if anybody knows this, but there's a great video going around of James Gunn's screening room and Crypto on the screen doing all Crypto things. And Crypto is based on James Gunn's Rescue Dog. So it's a direct composite copy of James Gunn's Rescue Dog. So there's a video going around of James Gunn screening the movie in his house and Crypto doing things on screen, and his real dog reacting to himself on screen as like, this is the coolest thing ever. I'm up there. That's me. And it's a really cool, like, fun dog video. But I am looking forward to it. Superman 78 is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, it's very hard to explain the attachment I had to that. Anyway.
Speaking of the animal thing, I saw a video today, or I don't know how old it is, but the alligator that was in Happy Gilmore died.
The alligator in Happy Gilmore died.
Yeah. The owner had like a thing up. I don't know. I mean, it's
the interesting thing here is maybe it died because it didn't get invited back for Happy Gilmore 2.
Right. But I guess it was in other movies too. I didn't see the list exactly, but
I was thinking about 80s movie. I was thinking about like great 80s movies. There's a 1980 movie called Alligator.
Yes, my daughter loves that movie.
That movie, well, it's fantastic. That movie is very satiric, has a lot of shit going on, has a very much a deep well of jokes because it's a John Sayles movie, and it just kind of like it doesn't stop. Like it keeps on going with the jokes, even when they get like, even in poor taste, they keep on hitting, and they don't really stop.
Great movie.
It's a really good movie.
I didn't stop scrolling to look into it enough, but I saw an ad that Dogpool is going to be at a Comic-Con coming up, and I'm just wondering if there's an autograph line for that and how that works.
There probably will be an autograph line for Dogpool, and I would imagine it's going to be expensive.
I know,
he's a scene stealer, and he's been on screen, so it's like that's hard to pass up. Let's see, new releases. Let's talk, Jerry. I saw it opening night. Hold on. Where's my poster?
I saw the Unicorn movie.
Did you like the Unicorn movie? It
was okay.
It was funny,
all right. Yeah, it was interesting.
Terrifying. What I liked about it, the Death of the Unicorn, what I liked about it, and I thought was really, really great. One, I love dark satire. You give me a Brazil, or you give me Starship Troopers, or you give me stuff that's really gory, but also like got a lot going on in its head. I love that they based it on the actual unicorn draperies, the tapestries. That's a real fucking thing. So somebody went to an art museum.
I got an idea.
I got an idea. What if they were fucking murderers? What if they were huge Clydesdales that wanted to kill everything? Or what if somebody hit one of their babies? And it's essentially Orca, right? It's essentially
pretty much.
It's got Orca vibes to it, but
it's just more comedic than that.
Yeah, I like Jenna Ortega very much. I feel like she's Jodie Foster in the making. She was
supposed to be like 17 in this.
Yeah, but I feel like she's Jodie Foster in the making, in that we've seen her grow up, and as she gets older, like I feel like the sky's the limit for her. Like she's already think about it. She's already been an X. She's already been she's Wednesday. She's done Beetlejuice 2. She's building a nice career for herself. But that's not the movie I'm talking about. I'm talking about this movie, Jerry.
Oh yeah, that was Friday, right?
I saw it opening day, Thursday. I saw it Thursday.
Thursday.
And okay, so a couple things. It's based on a book. It did okay. It didn't do great this weekend. It grossed about $4 million, but the budget is only $1 million. So, and they marketed it, but it's not heavy marketing. It's more internet marketing. Dave just purchased the unicorn horn Paul Rudd used on screen. Yeah, I know. It's okay. Like, I like the unicorn movie. I thought it was good. I don't know if I'd buy a prop from it. I know Gabe, but Gabe likes the Saw movies too. So I don't want to judge Gabe, but I'm not a Saw fan. Everybody knows this. So I saw the inner workings of how Saw crushed.
Maybe he likes playing games.
Maybe he does. Love Clown and Corville. It was great. It's not perfect. And I would also argue that the third act reveal might actually leave some people pissy.
Did it live up to the rating hype?
Well, by the time it got done, by the time it got done, no, by the time it got done, it was at 76. So by the time it got done with all the reviews at the end of the opening weekend, it was at 76, not 93. So it didn't have too much to live up to at that point. But what I will say is, it's got decent gore up until the third act reveal, which may or may not make people happy. It's pretty fun.
Really was a clown in a cornfield.
I'm not giving anything away.
It's a cool clown mask.
And there is one sequence. This sequence here, do you see the two heads, the two girls' heads? There is a fantastic sequence where they're hiding in the cornfield, and one girl on the right starts to scream, and the blonde puts her hand over her mouth. And then the blonde starts to whimper and scream, and the girl that's right next to the clown puts her hand over her mouth. And then the girl starts whimpering, and then the clown puts his hand over her mouth. And it's like, it was like in the theater, the ripples of laughter were exquisite. It's gory. It's okay. The third act reveal, when you say, yeah, it's a reveal. I'm not giving anything away. I don't want to ruin anybody's experience with it. It's a pretty good slash. Now, you asked me a question. Somebody asked me a question. Is it as good as Hard Eyes? And the answer to that is no. Because Hard Eyes is fucking fantastic.
That would have been Joe that asked you that question.
Joe asked me that question I think he asked me on the
Friday.
Yeah. And whether or not it was as good as I think Hard Eyes is better. Hard Eyes is on Netflix now. And now everybody will finally get to see Hard Eyes. By the way, I think that's the smartest thing to do for any movie or television show. If you really want it to be a mega hit, you have to put it on Netflix. Get it on Netflix as quick as possible, because everybody has Netflix.
I like how they're still pushing the horror thing though, because we need that, right?
Yeah, well, I was looking at it. We're gonna have more horror films this year, but like I said, we have more horror films this year than we need. Also, this Hard Eyes was better. Yes, Hard Eyes is the perfect amalgam of. I would say that Clown in a Cornfield is a homage to 80s, because it sets up. It starts in the 90s, so it's like it's a funny thing. You remember, Jerry, when we were in the 80s and we were watching all our horror films, right? And they would throw back to movies from the 70s. Well, now 2025 movies are thrown back to the 90s, which makes me feel Hard Eyes.
Yeah, it's like you didn't go back far enough.
Yeah, Hard Eyes was way more. Hard Eyes was way gorier, but Clown in a Cornfield has its fair share of gore, and at least, very good. There are at least 3 kills that are direct homages to better movies. But the idea that you could sit there and go, oh, like the opening sequence is by the giant cornfield, and tell me, Jerry, I'll give you the shots, and you tell me if you can get the movie, the homage. So it's a guy and a girl, and they're flirting around a fire, and the girl gets up and she starts disrobing and running into the cornfield, and the guy, who's drunk and high, gets up and runs after her into the cornfield. And I'm sitting there going, they're doing Jaws. Holy fuck.
I was just going to say that, but
it's very Jaws. So,
except he
like,
passed out in Jaws, but
yes, he doesn't pass out here. He doesn't make it back to the, like, he doesn't make it to the next day picking up the little bones of the girl. And so there's that homage. And then there's a kill later in the movie with a pitchfork that is a direct descendant of Michael Myers putting the shotgun to the blonde in Halloween 4. So, like, it's literally up wall. You know what I mean? Like, it's, and I was sitting there going, it's just the motion, right? It's just the motion of that sequence. Remember, like, when in Halloween 4, when it happens and you're watching, and Michael takes a shotgun and he gets up from the rocking chair and he has the shotgun and he walks up the steps and the blonde is so stupid and she's just standing there and he just, yanks her and just, and then puts the gun through the fucking wall and puts it through her. Was Snow White killing Disney scarier? Snow White's not gonna kill Disney. Like, it's not gonna kill Disney. Like, Disney's got a lot of shit going on. Disney's about to have a $75 million, $130 million 5-day weekend in 2 weeks. Disney is not worried about Snow White. And actually, what if I tell you that I think Snow White, when it gets to Disney Plus and everything, will not be nearly as hated as it is now? Just a prediction that 3 years down the road, we may look back and go, we don't like Snow White, but we don't. It's not egregious. It's not going to kill Disney's memory.
The disdain is trendy, and it won't be then. That's
the other thing. The disdain for Disney is trendy, but nobody has disdain for Lilo and Stitch.
I mean, for that movie in particular, the Snow.
Well, that's what I mean. But what I'm saying is, like,
there was a lot of trash floating around about.
Yeah,
this.
Well, yeah, politically and otherwise, but also, like, killing Disney. Does anybody have any ill will towards Lilo and Stitch? Or will everybody be watching Lilo and Stitch on Memorial Day weekend?
They'll be watching it.
Yeah. So the other, and then we have a new Pixar movie in June. So Disney doesn't give a fuck. Also, they have Fantastic Four in July. Disney doesn't give a fuck. They don't care.
Did you talk about the new trailer for Fantastic Four last week?
Did I talk about the new trailer? Yes.
Not really.
No, we didn't. You know what? You said you didn't want me to talk about anything till you got there. And you know what?
Okay.
That's right. He held to that.
You never
did hold to that.
I didn't show. I got held up. So let's talk about that trailer.
Okay. What do you want to talk about, Kyle? Happy birthday again.
Since it's a trailer, are spoilers allowed about the trailer?
Just the trailer, but you can't make any guesses off the trailer.
No, not that. But the Invisible Woman, Sue, is pregnant, right?
Yes.
So who's playing Mr. Fantastic, of course? Pedro Pascal. So now he has another child that he has to protect. Like, is this written into his contracts? That just annoyed the shit out of me.
Are you going to be able to see, like, the fetus in there? If she's in... Like,
that's not how that works.
It's like Wonder Woman in the Invisible Jet. You can see her.
But why is there another child written in that he has to protect?
Well, first, I mean,
it's a little annoying.
I would say that the child that we're talking about, you don't read Fantastic Four comic books, do you?
Not in a long.
The child we're talking about, you should look into, because I can only say to you, he doesn't need Mr. Fantastic to protect him. He doesn't.
Okay, but
he doesn't need any of them to protect him at any point.
Okay, but
he's one of the more dangerous babies in the.
I felt like the whole trailer though was him basically being like, "I got to do what's right for this child."
Wait a second. Why is Silver Surfer's boobs so small? Maybe because the actress playing Silver Surfer has small boobs. Just guessing here. Like, they're not gonna boob up her like an actress.
We use CGI for so many other things.
Where's today's Adria Barbeau when you need her?
Well, no, but even in the comics, the Silver Surfers are usually sleek. They're always they're usually like Keanu Reeves. not muscular or built. They're just like they're usually like just big or tall or small. And this particular Silver Surfer is a small, being played by a small Caucasian actor.
She's always trying to lean back on the surfboard so she doesn't fall. She doesn't fall forward.
Well, that was when Fantastic Four had like, we had Jessica Alba, who was like the boobs were almost unmanageable in that outfit. Okay, so your big problem is that Pedro Pascal is protecting a child?
Again. It's just...
Okay. But
it feels typecasted.
But he's not... But theoretically, I mean, we're not saying anything that nobody knows here, but theoretically, he's not protecting a child anymore.
No, but every single one of his stories seems like it starts out that way lately. Like...
Well, I mean, he didn't start out protecting the child. Child was just a bounty, and then eventually he protects him. We're going to have a Mandalorian and Grogu movie next summer. I know. I'm super excited.
Yeah, that's
going to be great. Cast him in another 3 men and a baby.
Maybe. Who would be the other 2 men? Who's modern day Gutenberg?
Oh, it'll be Charlie Sheen and Ashton Kutcher. And Tiger Blood.
Maybe Ashton Kutcher. But I was thinking more like, I don't know. Let's not bring that into existence. Because we'll look
somebody will be listening and really, ooh, that's a good idea.
Fuck. Franklin turns out to be Grogu. No. Franklin Richards. A quick deep dive into Franklin Richards, which is the child's name, will... Holy fuck. Like... He's a very... he doesn't need to be protected is all I'm going to say. Do you want to talk, we didn't talk about Thunderbolts last week either. You want to talk about Thunderbolts quick?
Sure.
Okay.
It's how Marvel got his fastball back. I wish there was a former co-host on here that would be eating a hat right now or something.
Well, he never admits to it. He never. I mean, but
it was fun.
Well, yeah, but he never admits that he was wrong. That never happened.
I understand that, but Thunderbolts was just fun.
Yes, it was good and it's well done. And
it's been out long enough. How much can we talk about?
I think it's been out 2 weeks. We can. We're fine.
The final cutscene. I want to get your opinion on that.
I have an interesting theory for you. Because I know you think it ruins Fantastic Four, right? That's your basis?
No, I'm not sure.
We don't know who's in that rocket.
Do you think Fantastic Four ends with them sending Doom up to space?
No,
and
what if Doom
he does a Mr. Evil and circles around in a Bob's Big Boy for years until he comes back? What?
Well, no. What if he steals one of their rockets?
Look, it's a woodpecker.
What if he steals one of their rockets?
Look at the size of that pecker.
But
that's a great movie.
I'm being serious.
There's
second time through on Thunderbolts. Couple things. We're going to talk about Thunderbolts. We didn't talk about it last week.
And he's gone. And he's frozen. Thunder. That is the mouse making sure no more spoilers about Thunderbolts.
Gotta get a screenshot of that, huh?
Yeah. I don't know if I can take the poster down. So let's see. I don't know here, folks. This is podcasting at its best, and he hasn't even disappeared yet to come back. That's the best part. Right.
He's still talking, that's why.
Is he still
It's like being on the phone and you're talking to somebody and the connection gets lost and you're still going. And then you're like, you know what I'm saying?
Here we go. All right, we got that down. So Oh, and he's gone. There we go. Ice got JW. So
yeah.
Thunderbolts. So you didn't get a chance to see Thunderbolts, Jerry?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
No. It's a lot of fun. It ties in kind of all the B heroes and villains in the first one, along with Senator Bucky Barnes, 103-year-old senator. You know, that's what we always just needed. Need my help? Never mind. Yeah, Joe, you can jump on anytime you want. You're always welcome. You know that. But Thunderbolts did stay at the top of the box office this week. Did another 32 million.
How many weeks has it been out?
2 weeks now for a combined total of 127,745. Wait. We have maybe spinning wheel of death. He's trying. He thinks he can. Thunderbolts, so for his second week, though, only beat out Sinners by 10 million.
I haven't seen that yet either, though.
Sinners is really good. That's a definite go see in theaters on the big screen. Which I guess that should lead into AMC announced, I think, that on Wednesdays now they're going to be doing half-price tickets for the summer. So, I mean, Wednesdays might be the go-to day to go see movies.
That's not bad.
In the theater.
It's not a bad gig.
You know what is bad, though? JW's internet connection.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's weather going on down there. Who knows?
It is Florida.
It is.
I haven't seen Mobland, Joe. You wanna tell us more about that? Because I don't know. JW's in the Phantom Zone.
Yes.
Ooh. Oh, wait.
He's trying again.
Let's see what he's got.
There it is.
He's back. So, folks, and that was everything you need to know about Thunderbolts, JW.
So anyway, that new cream that I got.
So we have some thunderstorms going on down here. Plus, we have.
I told you.
Yes, no, I know, but it's rainy on Tuesday. It's rainy here too.
I knew it.
Like I was gonna say, I enjoyed it immensely. I think Florence Pugh is a real star. So I think anytime someone said the magic word, what was it? Did they paint a pentagram on the ground and then I showed up?
No, Rob Zombie and you appeared.
Fucking stayed singing. But I think the interesting thing about it, I was talking to Jerry about this last week, Kyle. There is a whole story in the Wall Street Journal about how this is the movie Kevin Feige got everything back, control-wise. So, like, there's a story in the Wall Street Journal 2 weeks ago where basically Kevin Feige was talking about Thunderbolts, and basically Thunderbolts is the first time he's worked on every aspect of the movie in a long time. And there, with all the things he was drawn really stretched, really thin by Disney, making shows, doing whatever. The thought process being is that movies are going to be very movie centric. He's going to be focused there. The television shows are going to be very disconnected from the movies going forward. Oh, fuck that movie too. Jesus Christ. Next we're gonna get to a fight.
Rob Zombie's gonna direct the next Howard the Duck.
He wouldn't care. No, it's got to be somebody he likes doing it.
It'll be his wife playing Howard the Duck.
Never has a reboot been more succinctly put to somebody.
Jenna Ortega said Howard the Duck. Here we go.
Oh my God. I would have a shot then. Anyway, but I like Thunderbolts very much. We didn't talk about it, but like I said, this is the movie where he got his stuff back. And what they were saying is the people that were underneath him working on the movies, they would go to him to answer questions, and he would be able to answer the questions. But on a lot of the movies in the fifth phase, he wasn't around. Busy setting up WandaVision or Loki, or all these different shows that Disney had him doing. No.
So
So anyway,
I loved how after opening weekend though, with the Thunderbolts and the asterisk after it, the asterisk was for the big reveal of the new Avengers, and also teasing it that Sam's going to be
right.
Avengers also reboot. So
well, that was the end of Brave New World, right? Brave New World, Sam goes to.
But in Thunderbolts, they said Sam's doing his own Avengers thing too.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, but who's going to be in that team? I want that team should be super interesting because I could, if they're smart, and we're going to have some sort of Thunderbolts versus New Avengers fight in Doomsday. Just like not fight, but
Civil War.
A little, not a civil war, like just competition, right? If you go back and you watch Hawkeye, right? You watch Kate Bishop and Yelena in their scenes together. Florence Pugh and Haley Stanfield are so good together that team, and I could easily see a new Hawkeye with Sam, right? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Another movie that we have to talk about a little bit, just for amazingness, Sinners.
We talked about that while you were gone.
Oh
no, it
no,
only did 10 million less. Yeah,
unbelievable.
Only did 10 million less than Thunderbolts, and is over 215 million.
No,
you're here. No, you're here. We hear you.
Is it you
You're
guys?
saying
or is
no.
it me this time? It's me.
No, it's you.
We can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the numbers for Sinners, and it is me. That's what I thought. I thought it was me. The numbers are absolutely incredible. It's literally at $217 million. So remember when we talked that first weekend and everybody's like, oh my God, it did well, but did it do well enough?
I believe I said it's a slow burn movie where it's going to take time to catch on.
Well, no. But what I'm saying to you is when it grossed $50 million, everybody's losing their shit, and I kept on saying it's not. It's held remarkably well. Like it was only down 33% last weekend from the weekend before, so it's got amazing holds, and it's now well over $200 million. And then worldwide, it's at about I think as of worldwide, it's at about almost 300 million. And we're talking.
I actually saw more advertising leading up to The Clown in the Cornfield than I did for Sinners the weeks before Sinners.
Okay, so have you ever? Can I ask you guys a serious question? Because I had it happen to me. We went to see The Lion King at the Dr. Phillips Center, and I was chit chatty as I normally am. And have you ever talked about a movie and then gotten a response that was so weird that you went home and looked up what the hell the person was talking about? Serious question. Have you ever brought up a movie to not a stranger, but maybe a guy you buy your coffee from, or or somebody that's waiting on you, or it's just because somebody was talking to me at the Dr. Phillips Center, and they were saying how great The Lion King was, and I was like, oh, I know it's great. I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be amazing. And I'm like, you like movies? And the guy's like, yeah. And then I'm like, have you seen Sinners? And the response I got was so that I just am talking about it on a podcast. So anyway, this is the response I got. He said, yeah, me and my church went to see it. And a few members of our church had some reactions to incantations in the movie. And I said, really?
That's awesome.
Well, and my thing was I was saying it as I love it, and
was your face like this?
No, my face was more like,
yeah.
Please freeze again right there.
I'll do it again for him in case we get a chance. But it was more like this. I see, really. And he goes, yeah.
What kind of reactions are we talking about? Did they start spitting pea soup and stuff?
That is the inclination.
Did they have to get flogged after they saw it?
Well,
no, they had to go back into the lake of reincarnation.
I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. Once it hit that port, when you get to that part of a conversation where you're just like, that is not the reaction I was expecting, and I don't have the next answer to this.
Reaction to it. Were they gasping and needed barf bags? What?
Well, he said, you know what's all the stuff in the movie actually is, and I went, no, don't. And he goes, and then he goes, you must not be a religious fellow, and I'm like, nope, I'm not.
So you started doing research.
Well, I started doing. You want to know what I looked up in my Google when I got home? What are crazy religious fanatics saying about sinners? And
that's the most famous thing.
That's a good place to start. That's a good place to start.
But it was just one of those weird, like, have you ever had it with any movie where you recommended a movie and then somebody immediately turned back on you and you immediately felt like a heathen pagan? And you didn't care. Like, you didn't care. Because you basically blown past this person. And you probably never can see this person again.
I've had religious protesters outside of Rocky Horror. So.
Rock, right?
When the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake happened, me and my buddy were the only two laughing in the theater, but that was about it. It's not the same, right?
But it was just a weird. It was a weird thing. It was a weird thing that happened where I just went. I was talking to him like about the cinematic qualities of the movie, and he was talking to me about something else, and we were not on the same page. And
well, that just tells you that they did something.
Midway through, I realized it wasn't
the movie has some merit to it.
You know, you're talking to somebody, they say something, and you're like, "Holy shit, really?" And then all of a sudden, you're like, "Oh no, they're serious."
So when they made the movie, they did some research when they made this movie, right? Basically,
Kyle's going. Is everybody going out tonight? Is everybody like going in and out, or is it just me?
It's just you. I can hear.
I think it could just be me. I'm getting spinny things every 5 seconds.
Spinny things.
Yes.
Yeah, and you're sounding staticky sometimes a little bit, but not too bad.
Yeah, I could turn it. I can work on that. Okay, give me 2 minutes. I'll be right back.
2 minutes to midnight. No, but but if these church people reacted to this, then that means that the people that made that movie did some research, right? And they actually have something that hits a little home.
It's definitely
not just all made up, you know.
No, it's very accurate to the time frame that it was shot for. So, but it was good. And JW's trying to come back in now. Oh, he looks angry. He's looking away. He's in the green room.
The weather down there too. I mean, it's unpredictable, right? You're going to have this.
I think the religious fanatics in Florida are trying to silence him. So I'm still trying to figure out how he goes from seeing The Lion King to talking about sinners, because those are like complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, I don't know where he was going with the Lion King thing.
Okay, so where I was, it was just somebody
there you go.
It was just somebody in line. We're talking about good things. And I said, I've never seen Lion King. I'm like, do you like movies? And they're like, yes. I'm like, have you seen Sinners yet? And that's how it happened.
Oh, it started off.
You like movies about gladiators?
And I make the mistake of bringing up the quality of Sinners.
See a grown man naked?
My dad said he didn't hit any free throws.
Yeah, you tell your old man. I love when he grabs the kid.
You tell your old man when I'm busting my hump down in the paint against all them Celtics. You tell your old man to bite me.
You're him. I know you're him.
No, I'm not, kid.
And that was this week's Redux, folks.
Roger. What's the
What's the vector, Victor?
Now I have to watch that again.
Anyway, you know.
Surely you jest.
But Sinners and Thunderbolts have given a good jolt to the box office. We're about to be in the middle. You know, we've got it. Sinners and Thunderbolts has one more week. Although I think, you know, all of a sudden the movies opening this week look like they might do a little bit better than they thought they were going to do. Who knows what's going to happen? 2 movies opening this week. For anybody paying attention, we got this one. Final Destination Bloodlines, which
I
has
think that'll do well.
the last film appearance ever of this guy. Look at how sick he looks. I miss him.
That Tony Todd?
That is Tony Todd. Very, very ill. This is his last movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I will say Final Destination Bloodline, interesting things are a brew. So, if I told you, give me a number. What's the highest a Final Destination movie has ever opened at the box office? Just give me a number.
Adjusted for inflation or?
No, just just give me a number of what any Final Destination.
38 mil.
38 mil. Okay.
25.
25 is closer. 25.
I thought he said 45.
No. Okay.
25.
So 25. Here's what we got. The highest grossing Final Destination movie is 2009's The Final Destination, which opened at 27.4. Followed by Final Destination 3, which opened at 20.1. Final Destination 5, which opened at 18.03. And then Final Destination 2, 16.2. Original opened at $10.0 million. Projections for this week have it anywhere. It's going all over the place. But they're saying this one is going to open the highest the franchise has ever opened, which factors in a nostalgia factor. They're saying 35 to $50 million opening weekend.
I mean, they were okay.
They're okay movies. They're not like.
I mean, the log truck scene is the scene that everybody remembers out of any of them. Really,
that's the one where it actually implicates your life. Because if your wife or you are driving behind a log truck, you immediately move or tell the person driving.
Yep.
No, let's go.
I mean, that was a great scene, though. That whole entire scene was great.
Fantastic scene. I don't know how well it's going to do, but I would say anything over 35 is a mega hit. It will knock everything out of. It'll knock Thunderbolts out of first place. It'll knock Sinners out of second place. But Thunder. Don't get me wrong. Thunderbolts and Sinners are still going to do well this week. You know what I mean? Like, so the other movie that's opening that I have no idea about is Hurry Up Tomorrow.
Oh, about the musician.
No.
Hurry Up Tomorrow is a musician. He's plagued by insomnia.
It's The Weeknd.
His Nightmare Odyssey
It's also
with
Jenna
a stranger.
Yeah, it's also Jenna Ortega. So it's The Weeknd.
Is she going to burn out?
I don't think so. I think she's too popular to burn out.
Well, it's like when Nicolas Cage was in everything for a while, and
I was thinking Alicia Silverstone
was in everything for a while. They go through these runs, these spurts.
The big thing here is this is a $15 million budget movie, and whether or not you think The Weeknd is important or, I have no idea. It's directed by a guy named Trey Edward Schultz. He directed It Comes at Night and the drama Waves. But he's not I don't know what's going to happen with this movie. It's got The Weeknd in it, and it's got previous screenings tomorrow night. It's got previous screenings on Wednesday night, so who knows what's going to happen with it? Who knows if it's going to hit or not?
7:45 at Cinemark.
Yeah,
7 o'clock at the Regal in Dixon City.
Yeah, it's got previous screenings on a Wednesday, which is they're called early access of fan events. But I don't The Weeknd had the Super Bowl show. He makes interesting music, but he made that show The Idol, which was absolutely awful on HBO. But it's got her in it, so maybe I don't know what's gonna happen.
She's Superman. Did you just give away a huge spoiler?
So who knows what's gonna happen today?
Let's
talk about deaths really quick because we're talking about Final Destination. Good time to bring up. What's the next collector popcorn box?
Ooh, yeah.
Hold on, Jasper. I have a picture for you. I don't know that I can get it. That's the other.
Come on.
The next big popcorn box is for Mission Impossible. because it's
last
an
Mission
astounding
Impossible
piece of work.
Should be a Fantastic Four
Hold
with
on,
like the Thing
I'm gonna
head
get a
or
picture for
something.
you.
Should be a baby and Mr. Fantastic trying to protect it.
And if I can get it, I'm going to try to get it because I think this one is so cool. But that's the next big popcorn bucket. There are lots of Lilo and Stitch tie-ins as well, but nothing. This might be the popcorn. I don't think it'll be a popcorn bucket because whatever we have coming for Fantastic Four and Superman are going to be incredible. But this popcorn bucket, look at this. So that's the popcorn chamber. On the top, it has the two keys from Mission Impossible, the Dead Reckoning, that the entity has. And you have to put the two keys together and put it into the popcorn cup at the top before it will open. I think that's super cool.
That's kind of neat.
That's because you can put things in it, lock it, and then move the key.
It's interesting.
So nobody can get into it. And I think it's cool because it looks like a lot of the things he's going after.
The movie theater constructed popcorn tin is going to be invincible.
And the key thing is a really nice touch. The idea that you have to put the two-fold key together, put it in the lock, and open the popcorn container that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? And I
interesting.
You know, I didn't show you guys. This is the last great.
You showed it to me.
Bucket. I just got him.
Oh, there's a crusty old white guy inside.
Amazing. An amazing popcorn bucket. One of the easiest buys of the year. Just so, come on. Yeah. And I got Thunderbolts. I got my Thunderbolts arena. Revenge of the Sith Cup with a really great poster art that the guy did. That is an amazing poster.
Chilled monkey brains.
Chilled monkey brains. Oh. Here's a question for all the kiddies that are paying attention tonight, and for Jerry. I really want Jerry on this one. I think this is the Sophie's choice for horror fans. We are 40 years away from 1985. 1985, one of the greatest years in the history of film. Jerry, I want you to pick one.
Oh, I saw this post. I can't. I was so.
Look at those movies.
I was like those first three on the left side alone are fantastic. The first four, all of them are, right? That's hard to pick.
Why can't I hear anybody?
I don't know.
Jerry?
I'm here, but they're
Bueller.
They're all great. All of them are great.
We can hear you.
Fuck.
Yeah. There he goes. No, 85 was great. The 80s were great for horror stuff, but that was on. He put that on Facebook. That's really a hard list to pick from if you're a horror fan from that time, because they were all fantastic.
Oh, wait a minute! It's re-entering the building.
You got two of them that are living dead. You have vampires in there, werewolves in there, in that list. Reanimator was in that list. Space vampires in there. Life Force was awesome.
Life Force.
Can you guys hear me or no?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. You can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Correct.
That sounds about right.
So.
But I would pick, if I were to pick those, and I know they're not up anymore.
I don't know why I can't.
I narrowed it down to Reanimator, that left side. I had Reanimator, Day of the Dead. Those were the top two, I guess, if I had to pick. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street 2 was on there, but
everybody can hear me? Oh, I know what it is.
Yes.
I know.
You have to click unmute on you.
That is exactly what it was. I knew it wasn't going to happen. Okay.
Wow, folks, this is
But
podcasting.
that's a hard list. I was saying, John, that's a hard list.
That isn't that one of the hardest lists you've ever seen?
It is, and I narrowed it down. I tried my best to narrow it down. Reanimator is like the first one I thought of, and Day of the Dead. Those are probably my top two. If I had to, I don't want to have to.
This is the Sophie's choice of horror choices.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Booba says Fright Night.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is probably the weakest one in there, I guess.
Well, I mean, a couple things. I think the two right and left sides in the middle, right? Fright Night, Day of the Dead, Silver Bullet, Return of the Living Dead. Any one of those.
They're fantastic. Demons, even. House.
Demons is great. House
Life
is
Force is too.
Life Force is underrated. Reanimator is the one I immediately thought of, but then I looked down.
Yeah, yeah, right. Because Reanimator, who doesn't love Reanimator until you start looking at the rest of the list? And you're like, oh.
And Reanimator's fantastic, but there is not a bad movie on this list.
No, there isn't really.
You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where you look at it and you go, you could pick any one of them on any given night and be like, and tomorrow you and I could talk and be like, I'm changing my mind. I'm going.
There's a different mood for every movie on that list.
I'm changing my mind. I'm going Return of the Living Dead.
I watched Fright Night the other night.
Fright Night holds up. Fright Night holds up.
You have to have faith, Mr. Vincent.
You have to have faith. Silver Bullet holds up too. Silver Bullet.
Great movie.
Fantastic movie.
Return of the Living Dead. That's probably the absolute best zombie movie that has the camp to it.
That does not have Romero in it.
And it's campy. It's funny. It's fun.
Yes. And
the soundtrack is awesome.
It also has the single greatest ending to a horror film ever made.
Yeah.
Because it's we can't do anything.
Hey, yeah.
We're good. We're just gonna nuke the whole fucking city. It's the aliens ending, right? We're gonna nuke the city from orbit.
I was when I saw that, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, damn you for putting that up here.
Well, yeah, because it's something where you'd be like,
paramedics. Yeah, who's the president? Herbert Hoover.
Why do you eat brains? Because it helps with pain. What? But Fright Night's great. Silver Bullet's great. Life Force is underrated, highly underrated. And somebody on Facebook put, I'm voting Life Force for 2 reasons.
Well,
and they're the best reasons ever.
They are the best.
And some of the nicest.
Steve Railsback's okay too.
Well, the girl, Lana Quigley from Return of the Living Dead, even when she's dead, isn't
trash. That was her name.
Too bad to look at, except when she opens her mouth, her maw. But yeah, that's a real tough.
Yeah, Demons was fantastic. I'd love to have that mask.
Yeah, but
hey,
that's
look at me.
First time zombies said brains. Yeah, also, Return of the Living Dead has a really good some really good acting performance. Hugh Gulliger, right, is great in that movie. Right, he's hilarious. He's scary and hilarious, and just the epitome of who when he calls the fucking number and he's like,
right,
well, who does take care of something like that?
Well, Tom Matthews was pretty good in that too.
Matthews is great in it too.
Friday the 13th.
They're in the sequel. The two people reprise roles in the sequel, where they get the same fucking thing happen, right? So they get hit with the mist, and then but that's a real tough choice. Silver Bullet is I grew up watching Silver Bullet. You know what I mean? Silver Bullet has a great performance from Corey Haim, a really good performance from Tom Everett.
Yes.
And Gary Busey is normal in that movie.
That's very rare.
He's a drunk lout, but guess what?
But he loves his nephew.
He loves his nephew. and his niece. He's the best version of Gary Busey we're ever gonna get.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like
Day of the Dead was one of
Day of the
Tom
Dead has
Savini's
got
absolute best.
Right.
As
and
far as gore goes.
Day of the Dead has Bub. You know what I mean? House is just this irreverent
House
kind
is
of like
amazing. The greatest American hero and Cheers come
yes,
together.
Cat, Mr. Cat. Yeah. So okay,
and
before I
Night Court.
go out again, let's do what we're gonna do. Let's do It Came from Jerry's Basement quick before I fucking pitch out because my fucking internet's going wonky tonight. I can't even move. I can't even move where I want to go. Kyle's in charge. It Came from Jerry's Basement. Jerry, what do you got?
Tonight's movie is Alucarda.
Okay, so if you're looking for this movie, a couple things. Might not be Alucarda, although we found I found a really good poster.
It may be Innocence from Hell, and I think there's another movie that the AKA
could also be Sisters of Satan.
That's it, Sisters of Satan.
Oh my God, this is a nightmare.
And this movie,
Alucarda could also be Sisters of Satan.
Yes.
Look at that.
Amazing.
It is a very big 70s Italian culture.
I like that goat better than Thor.
That's funny. But yeah, it's one of those movies that has not I shouldn't say it's Mexican.
It's a shame they let him stop.
It's basically about a girl who is an orphan, gets brought to a convent. Two of them. This one is the spawn of Satan, basically, and Satan. Yeah,
Satan.
And when they as they grow and they become
Lucifer.
teens, all hell breaks loose in this convent.
It was really sad when they wouldn't let him keep teaching in Wicked, though.
But this is a great movie.
This is the worst. This internet tonight is the worst.
And this is on YouTube.
But yeah, where can people find it, Jerry?
YouTube.
On YouTube. You said it, JW. So
it's all good.
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. So
we have to do sign language.
We have to do sign language.
2 words. First word.
Yeah. Yeah.
This week, Twilight Zone Redux is an episode called Static. I've seen it before, but I was not expecting a lot from it. And it's not. And I'll tell you what, Jerry, as it progressed and it washed over me, it actually is a really, what title on YouTube? It's Alucarda on YouTube.
Yeah, it's this title, Alucarda.
But this episode's called Static, and this is the opening narration of Static. No one ever saw quite like that because that's a very special sort of radio. In its day, circa 1935, its type was one of the most elegant consoles on the market. Now with the fabric-covered speakers with peculiar yellow dial, its serrated knobs, it looks quaint and a little strange. Mr. Ed Lindsay is going to find out how strange very soon when he tunes into the Twilight Zone. So basically, it's this episode about a curmudgeon. He's not nice. He lives in a boarding house with all these other old people, and they're all watching television. Oh. Nothing is working.
It's a good episode. Can you hear me?
Now we lost.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I was amazed. I can hear you. Yes.
I liked it.
So
I liked it. I mean, it's sort of like a descent into madness a little bit, right?
Yeah, and what it's also like, okay, so this guy's an asshole, right? He's a terrible character. But midway through the episode, there's a great, like, the woman has this super mean. Oh,
yeah,
he's super mean all the time to everybody in the little place. And basically, what's amazing is midway through, the woman comes up and talks to him it basically, one of the women makes a comment like, "You're lucky you didn't end up married to him," and she, and it's like it's not something you think about, but then it plays out, and she goes up and she says, "Yeah, we used to listen to the radio in the dark." And it's like that's as close to saying on 1960s television we were fucking, right? It's the closest you get on 1960s television. By the way, while I still have internet for the very brief time, this is episode 56, 20th episode of season 2. We have 9 episodes left of season 2. But what I will say is about this one is that he's a jerk. He treats everybody horribly, treats the kid in the neighborhood horribly, treats the people that they sell his radio and then he gets it back. He treats that guy like dirt. And he's like, if anybody hurts my radio, I'm going to freak out. But it's basically old man yelling at the clouds, right? I don't like the new technology because I remember an older technology. But
well, and it's the way things should have been
from 20 years ago when he was happier. And you find out later in the episode he was happier because he was with the woman in the house, the boarding house.
Right.
Their romance was blossoming and then it just kind of died out. So it has this bittersweet kind of a tinge to it.
Right.
And by the end, I was thinking of something like. By the end, I was thinking of something like Frequency, where somebody taps into something, and they're able to contact or talk to somebody that they lost or they love, and it just ends very nicely with him in the past with her,
right,
with the chance that their relationship will be okay.
Right. But you gotta wonder.
It ends with them before they broke up, and before
you have to wonder though.
Lost.
You have to wonder if it really happened or if he's just still stuck there listening to that radio.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
he actually went crazy. It doesn't tell you
but
that.
But the closing narration gives us a glimpse. Around and around she goes, and where she stops, nobody knows. All Ed Lindsay knows is that he desperately wanted a second chance and finally got it through a strange and wonderful time machine called the radio in the Twilight Zone. So I'm of the mindset, Jerry, that he gets the second chance and he's able to.
Yeah.
He gets.
But it is the Twilight Zone, so you never know.
And so that they end up together is my feeling on it. Is that this radio has given him this like the reason he was an asshole, the reason he was mean, the reason he hated everybody was because he blew it with this girl, right? And the radio gives him, like, not only does the radio give him comfort while he's being a curmudgeon, the radio in the Twilight Zone gives him a chance to go back and get her again. And I just viewed it as much as a bittersweet kind of like, I don't think he's going nuts. I think Twilight Zone's actually giving him, hey, you fucked up, bro. Every one of us has that fuck up, right? Where you just like, should have done that differently. And this one gives him a second chance. And it turned out to be a much better episode than some of the episodes.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Not the classic ones, obviously, but next week we get one called The Prime Mover. And it's just, basically about a gambler who has telekinetic powers. So it will be episode 21. We only have 8 left after this. So kind of fun.
Lots of fun.
Yes, red swing line stapler. Don't touch my stapler. They've moved my desk and they're no longer paying my check. Couple of things before we go, if I can keep my internet for a couple minutes. I did want to say a rest in peace to a couple of people we lost this week. Ruth Buzzy passed away. Most people know her from Laugh-In, and her incredible performances with Artie Johnson, and for her time with Goldie Hawn when she was super young. But she was also like, you don't realize the amount of stuff she did. Broadway productions of Sweet Charity. She was the original friend, sitcom friend, and on That Girl, right, Marla Thomas. But she also had like a lengthy career where she did a bunch of things where you wouldn't even know, like she was in a Weird Al Yankovic video. She was, she did so many things, and she was just one of the great comedically talented, gifted female performers of our lifetime. She had timing, and she was smart, and she was funny, and the handbag hit of all time, right? Every time she hit a Hardy Johnson with a handbag, it would bust out. If you haven't seen some of those videos, and you're a fan of comedy, you owe it to yourself to go back and look at her stuff, because she was a genius. She also hit on things later in her career where you're looking and you're just like, she was on the Gary Moore show. She worked with Carol Burnett. She worked she got her start on Laughing, but she did a lot of things. She was Screech's mom on Saved by the Bell. She was in The Adventures of Elmo and Grouchland. She was in the original Freaky Friday, The Apple Dumpling Gang, The Villain, Choo Choo and the Philly Flash. She just was one of the great comedic actresses.
She had a good career.
She never, even as she progressed through life and got really sick, she died of Alzheimer-related complications. Had several strokes at the end. She was always a big fan favorite, right? And so rest in peace, Ruth Buzzy. Also passing away Sunday is this guy, Robert Benton. And, I talk about directors. I talk about, for me, directors are the most important thing. But Robert Benton, his string in the 80s, he had a string of movies. He died at 92. He co-wrote Bonnie and Clyde. He made amazing Oscar-nominated movies in the 80s called Kramer versus Kramer and Places in the Heart. But Kramer versus Kramer is one of the great, just incredible.
I remember that one.
Relationship movies, 79 Best Picture winner. So he was an incredible, incredible director. And he had this to say about movies. I couldn't sit down and write a novel or a short story, even now, because of my dyslexia, but I learned narration from movies. Yeah, that's the kind of director you want. That's the kind of people we should celebrate. But he wrote a lot of great movies. Wrote a lot of great roles for women. Especially starting with Bonnie and Clyde in '67. When you look at different things, he has a writing credit for Superman, What's Up, Doc. He wrote a movie called Bad Company, which is a great Western starring Jeff Bridges, The Late Show, which is another amazing kind of melancholy comedy. And he was just, later films include Billy Bathgate, Nobody's Fool, which is a tremendous Paul Newman. It's Paul Newman, Melanie Griffith, and Bruce Willis, and it's a great movie. Late movies for Benton also include The Human Stain and Twilight and Billy Bathgate, which were great movies. But he, and they asked him, somebody asked him when the Academy Award nomination came out, what's the great thing about the Academy Awards? I said, when you go to the awards and see people, some of whom you've had bitter fights with, some of whom you're close friends with, some people you haven't seen in 10 years, some people you just saw 2 days before, it's your family, it's home. And home is what I've spent my life looking for. Great. Hi, Jamie Hill. We're just talking about Robert Benton, one of the great American directors. Anyway, he passed away. What do you boys got going on? What do you got going on, Jerry Kamora of the band Slapjaw? What do you got going on, my friend?
24th, we're doing an outdoor show. The one I mentioned last week up in Scranton area. That's about it.
That's about it. What about you, Kyle? What do you got going on? When do you got things going on? Mm-hmm.
This Saturday, we'll be in Matamoros, Pennsylvania, doing Rocky Horror. And Jim, who we had on as a guest, will be there hawking his books and signing them for people.
Hawking his books. I like hawking his books. I thought you were retiring. What happened?
You could leave it, but it never leaves you.
You're like Michael Corleone in The Godfather Part 3.
I tell people that with guitar. I've had a lot of guys say, "Oh, I quit playing guitar. I sold my stuff, but I'm going to get back into it." Because you could leave it, but it doesn't leave you. That's what's going on right there.
Well, I also think it's a calling where
I built a machine that. Yeah.
She needs you to keep it oiled, man. Come on.
So wait a second. Are you doing Dostoevsky, like you're just a cog in a machine now?
I'm just a cog in the machine.
No, he's Oz. He's Oz behind the scenes running that machine.
And chickens. Yes, and chickens.
The giant mechanical head.
The 8 chickens that we got are still alive and well.
So congratulations.
10 more weeks, we should be getting some eggs.
Excellent. Please be careful.
Save yourself some money there.
Salmonella, please.
And you get good eggs.
Please be careful of salmonella. Because I've heard a lot of things.
No, but there ain't nothing like fresh eggs like that.
Fresh eggs. Excellent. Okay, we can find me every Tuesday.
Just like your brain on drugs back in the day.
These boys, yeah, brain on drugs. With these boys doing Loud and Nerdy. Next Tuesday night, you'll find me here. Then next Monday night, you'll find me on Generation Movie with Rich Reeves. We're back. We are in our 3rd movie, Mission Impossible 3. This is where it gets good. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All fantastic movies. We'll be doing Mission Impossible 3. You don't like Mission Impossible? Why are you shaking your head?
That last one was horrible.
Which last
one? 7.
No, it was what?
Oh, it was such a.
No, they're all like from.
I don't think they're bad.
From 3 to 7 are fantastic, and from what I'm hearing about 8 is. They said it's. First off, it's 2 hours and 49 minutes. We're going to talk about this next week. It's 2 hours and 49 minutes.
I saw a video, and it's like, Tom Cruise is the best. He does his own stunts, and somebody wrote, Jackie Chan just entered the chat.
Well, I was telling, we were talking about it 2 weeks ago. That first Mission Impossible where he ran out of the fucking tank. And what happened was Brian De Palma took him behind the camera and said, look, they can tell when it's a stuntman. You have to do this. And then the stuntman came to Tom Cruise and said, just so you know, if the bomb goes off in this glass water enclosure and you do not get over the spot you need to get over, you could drown. And he's like, let's do it. Right? And I'm thinking to myself, 2 things happen in that scene. One, he does the stunt. You can clearly see him. It's a full camera shot of him jumping over the waves of the fucking restaurant that has water in it. And 2, it's the first time he runs full speed at the camera on camera. And I'm fairly confident that's the beginning of this crazy thing he's done for us, where he gives us 120%. I heard he made the director of this movie walk on the fucking wind with him, which, again, I don't know how we get insurance for this stuff, but I'm all in. He gives me 120% every time I watch the movie.
And I still like Risky Business and Losing It.
Risky Business and Losing It are great. All the Right Moves is fantastic.
That's a good movie too, yeah.
Also, I'd be remiss not to talk about this, but tonight, after we finish our show, I'm going to go watch the end of Andor. If you're not watching Andor, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. If you think Star Wars is not good anymore, and you watch last week's 2 episodes, 8 and 9, they're 2 of the best episodes of television I've ever seen. And they're 2 of the best hours of Star Wars I've ever seen. They were fantastic. I can't wait for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We will see everybody next week. Have fun doing whatever you're doing. Peace out. Bye-bye.